I'm Michelle Jarasoli with the Sassy Ladies, and I'm here today with Carrie Johnson. I'm so excited to have Carrie. She just gave a wonderful speech to the Leading Women Breakfast. Leading Women is one of the sponsors of the Emerging Women in Business Conference, and Carrie's going to be the keynote speaker, so I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I could talk to you forever, so I'm going to try to keep it short and get a couple of clips for our website here.
I knew early on that Carrie was going to be invited to be our keynote speaker for the conference, which is going to be held in April 22nd in Providence. And I was so excited because your book, The Pits to the Palace, was just the perfect story for our conference theme, which is Transform Your Future. And so I'm going to pick Carrie's brain a little bit for you. She just gave a wonderful speech, very inspiring story. To a room full of women. I think it went pretty well. What do you think?
I think it went pretty well. I enjoyed it. It was a great group.
Yeah, you have a wonderful story. And so a few things popped out in my head, and we're going to grab a couple of videos for our fan base on Twitter and Facebook to share with them some of the tips that you've learned and that you'll share with us during the conference as a little bit of a teaser. So one of the things that stood out for me in your story was the amount of support that you were able to take advantage of. I think women starting their own businesses tend to think that they are going to be able to do it all themselves. And that's not the case. You had some support along the way. Can you tell us about that?
I sure can. That's one of the most important things is following up with that support. You know, like I said, 20 years ago when I started my business, there weren't a lot of women's groups. There wasn't a lot of support out there just for women.
Right.
And I think now CWE was the beginning of it for me. And I learned so much, and not necessarily so much from, although I did learn a lot from their classes as well, but it's the connections you make with women.
Exactly.
And women are fantastic at supporting each other. We're ready. There's so many women's organizations, and they're out there, and they're ready to be mentors, and they're ready to, you know, exchange information and knowledge, and that's what it's about. Men have been doing it for years, and that's what helps them be successful. And now we're doing it. It's almost like there's a movement going on with all these women's organizations and women coming together to you know, network. But then there's more women than ever out there in corporate America. Women are still starting businesses twice as fast as men. So it's an important piece in getting to where you're successful.
Yeah. I personally took advantage of CWE, and it was where I met my two business partners in the Sassy Ladies, so I'm a big fan of CWE. And I think, you know, centers like that provide networking and counseling, mentorships, but it's really, you also need the support of your family and friends. And you had your sister and your girlfriend kind of push you into this business, didn't you?
Yes, and you do need support of family and friends. However, sometimes and lots of times, it's those good friends and family who are the naysayers, especially when you're trying to start your own business or be an entrepreneur. You know, they're going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to be, and you know,
and you do it anyway.
Well, you know what? You don't have to share your dream and your thoughts with everybody. If there are those negative folks who are naysayers, when you're trying to tell an idea, you do not want to talk to them. You want to talk to the people who support you, who are in support of you.
Right.
So that, again, that networking and that connecting with other women, other entrepreneurs, you know, other like-minded people.
Instead of convincing you not to.
Exactly, and that's what helps you to keep going. And that's true with whatever you're doing. I mean, when you're around negative people, you start, you know, you think like that. You have to be around positive people. I'm not saying write your family off.
Right. We wrote about that in our book as well, in the dreaming chapters. You've got to take what they're saying and put your own spin on it. So, you know, they might say, you're crazy, you don't want to start a dog sitting business and have 20 large dogs running around your house. Well, no, but you might want to have 5 small dogs, and that's your business, and that's your niche. And you know, so it's really, you take their advice and you filter through it, and but surround yourself with supportive people. That's been such a huge factor in our success, and it sounds like is in yours as well.
Very definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.